All right, you guys tell me what to do here. This is ridiculous, but you know what? It's the world that I have accepted I am in, like it or not, the good and the bad. That's how we roll as we hit the 9 o'clock hour on KCMO Talk Radio. So, 3 hours ago, you heard it here first on 95.7. You will probably hear this elsewhere around Kansas City media in the hours ahead, but that's why you're here every morning. That's why we continue to move up in the ratings around Kansas City radio and on the stream, the app, the phone, your Google Home, your Alexa device. Dayton Moore, the former team president and general manager of the Royals, is traveling the state of Kansas and considering and exploring the idea of a run for governor in 26. Might be something else that he looks at, but those conversations are ongoing. We talked a lot about that, and if you missed the full breakdown, you'll get it on the podcast after the show wraps up. Just search Pete Mundo on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So I put this up this morning on X as well. I said, as you just heard on 95.7 FM KCMO, former Royals GM, team president Dayton Moore is traveling Kansas in the weeks ahead and exploring a run for Kansas governor in 2026 as a Republican. So this has gotten a lot of attention on X, and you can follow me there at Pete Mundo. Also, it's on my Facebook page and the KCMO Talk Radio Facebook page. So a lot of people are reacting to it, right? It's gotten thousands of views and reactions and everything else. Well, one stood out to me, and this response comes from a council member in Overland Park. His name is Drew Matrison. He's Ward 2 in Overland Park, so that's north of the 435 loop. That's the Woker part of OP. And he responds to this post I put up, and he writes, rich Republican white men. Now, to be clear, this guy also happens to be white. So I guess he, once again, probably hates himself. I don't know. He should just go full Justin Trudeau and, start walking around in blackface. Might as well. Rich Republican white men paying Jeff Rowe $3 million to get 2% of the primary vote. Many such cases. Well, Jeff Rowe is the founder of Axiom Strategies. They obviously were founded here in Kansas City. Their claim to fame is running Ted Cruz's presidential campaign back in 2016. They helped Glenn Youngkin win in Virginia a couple of years ago. Don't know Jeff. I know that there are people around town that know him very well. I have not dealt with him. I've dealt with plenty of Axiom people, but let's be honest, the shine has worn off Axiom a bit in recent election cycles. And I don't know what Dayton Moore is going to do. I don't know if he is even going to run. But I'll tell you right now, Trump world doesn't like Axiom to take you a little bit behind the scenes. Like, they can't stand Axiom. So if you want a Trump endorsement, you can't hire Axiom in a big race. You can't do it. So I don't know who's going to ultimately get into the Kansas governor's race, but if you hire Axiom, you're probably toast. Because if Trump's going to play a role, he will never endorse an Axiom candidate. There's no way. So the whole premise here is just dumb. So I just wrote back to this Overland Park councilman. I said, what a stupid comment. And he writes back, you're right. Bob Hamilton, who you may recall, the plumber, who ran for U.S. Senate back in 2020, the race that Roger Marshall ultimately won. Remember, Bob Hamilton got 18% in the primary, which was good for third place. He writes here, Pete, let's make a deal. This is Overland Park Councilman Drew Matrison is his name. If Dayton Moore runs and gets in the top 3 in the primary, I'll donate $100 to the GOP nominee. If he doesn't, you throw in $100 to the Democrat. So if Dayton Moore gets in the top, if he runs and he gets in the top 3 of the GOP primary, this guy in Overland Park, this Overland Park councilman says he'll donate $100 to the GOP nominee. If Dayton Moore does not make the top 3, I donate $100 to the Democratic nominee in the 2026 Kansas governor's race. You guys tell me on the text line at 913-408-7957 or on the phones whether or not I should take the bet. This feels like easy money to me. Mark, you're the betting guru.
Yeah. I think if Dayton runs, I think that he'll get top 3.
I mean, I'm not sitting here predicting he's going to win like right now if he even does it, and it's all speculative. I mean, no one knows what exactly he's going to do. He's just touring the state. He's not announcing anything. There's no like committee set up. He's just touring the state. But if he does it, he would easily, I mean, even if there's 5 people running, I can't see a world where he wouldn't be top 3 because I also know he would hire good people around him.
Yeah. And you got to think that he'd get the votes in KCK, some places maybe in Johnson County that he usually wouldn't get.
Yes, I think so as well. And a lot of you right now on the text line are saying this feels like easy money too. This is just, I mean, I'll take money. It's not me taking the money. It would be donating the money to the nominee of choice. But I also would have to see some type of receipt to believe this guy would donate $100 to the Republican GOP or the Republican nominee for Kansas governor in 2026. I'd have to see it to believe it. But it really does feel like an easy bet. But some of you are saying, dumb bet, don't legitimize this dork.
Such a nice man.
Ignore the jokers, Pete. That's fine, but hey, every dollar counts in politics, right? Every dollar counts, man.
And you don't have to run around the building naked.
I'm not betting naked laps anymore. Those days are over. I'm not doing that. So from that standpoint, it feels like a win for me. I don't have to have Mark filming me running around the building again, John.
I don't know. Maybe he's got $100 worth of earned media here, though, all of a sudden, so he may already be even. I don't know.
Well, that's true.
How about that?
I understand that. Maybe he's playing 3D chess and I'm playing checkers here. I'm getting show content out of it, so everybody's winning.
No, exactly.
Everybody's winning.
There you go.
Pete, I don't know. I don't like your odds based on your last political bet. I understand.
Maybe you, Pete.
But the
the
last political bet I knew was a long shot. I didn't feel as good about that as I do this potential bet. That bet, in case you weren't around for it 2 years ago.
Oh, sure. The next one will be the winner.
I know. I do sound like a degenerate, don't I?
You can be.
I know. I sound like the guy walking into the craps table. This is my time. I got the hot hand. I bet that Amanda Atkins wouldn't lose to Sharice Davids by 10 points. And Sharice Davids not only won by 10 points, she won by 14 points? Something crazy like that. Listen, I won't do that again. I've learned my lesson there. And that's why I don't know who's going to run against Sharice Davids, but it's a losing battle. I said it 2 years ago, and I didn't cover it as much as I did 3 cycles ago and 4 cycles ago. This 3rd district is Sharice Davids for as long as she wants it. I do not see an avenue for a Republican to flip that seat right now. I would be stunned if it happened. But if it's going to happen in a couple of years, and you had a Republican like Dayton Moore atop the ticket who could do pretty well for a Republican in Johnson County, then maybe you got a shot. But my days of betting naked laps are over. On the text line, Pete, this seems too good to be true. But you are giving the guy a lot of publicity for $100. Listen, I never heard of the guy till 5 minutes ago, so he's getting some publicity out of it. But I hope what actually happens is now people in Overland Park know the guy's name, and they'll complain to him about all the issues in Overland Park. And there are quite a few. Have they removed all the snow yet in Overland Park? I know there were some places around there still dealing with snow removal issues. Have they got all that? 913-408-7957. Pete, have we not learned our lesson about baseball politicians in the Kansas City area? Oh, no. Do not put Dayton Moore in the same sentence, in the same paragraph, in the same story, in the same political world, on the same planet as Frank freaking White. I mean, please, do not do that. Literally the only thing that Frank White and Dayton Moore will ever have in common is that they both happen to, at one point in time, collect a paycheck from the Royals. That's it. That is where the similarities end. From a leadership perspective, from a political perspective, from a, everything. You go down the list. It is not even up for conversation, but I do see what you did there.